We know what we've got to do. If we lose the league to Arsenal, it's not what's happened in this last 10 games for me, because we can win these 10 games. But if Arsenal win their games, they've won it. But early in the season, we didn't quite get going. We dropped sloppy points. But I'm confident, man. I'm confident. I've just got this feeling that both teams are going to drop points, but I've just got this feeling that we're gonna do it.
You're not so worried then about this 8-point gap that they've got. You still think you've got the ability to drag them back. You think that essentially you think that Arsenal will slip up more than you will in this last 10, 11 games?
Yeah, I think so. I've just got a feeling. I just think, listen, we were 8 points behind Man United with 6 games to go, and we won the league. So if what kind of Man City supporter cannot believe that they're going to win the league at 8 points behind with a game in hand, got Arsenal still to play? Do you know, what kind of a fan are you going to be? You've seen it. We've seen it. I've been in this position before. So I'm confident in my team. The fans, the stadium's got a buzz around it. The last few games is a different mentality going into the match now. We've finally seen on the pitch the big fella's clicking into gear at the right time. Diaz is back. Foden's come back from an injury. And listen, we're looking good, man. We're looking perfect for where we need to be. If it was going into this last 10 games up and down like we did middle of the season when I said to you, we keep taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I wouldn't be as confident. But look at the way we're playing. We smashed Leipzig for 7. We've hit Burnley for 6. You know, we're finally putting a little run together. And when Man City go on a run, you know what happens.
And do you think it will be the pressure you apply to Arsenal that will make them crumble? Or do you just think it will be the title running in itself, a young, inexperienced team? Do you think that's what's going to get them? Or is it a combination of the two things? The big blue shark, as you would call it, is behind them, and the necessity for them to keep winning. Do you think that might just be a little bit too much for this Arsenal team this season then?
Listen, I just think they've got to do their business and we've got to do ours. If we do our business, I believe we win the league. They're going to be confident on their side, thinking, you know what, we're going to win the league. But they haven't been in this territory for a long time. You know, I said to you before, the pressure's not even started yet. It's not, you know. They crumbled the other day against Sporting Lisbon. Yeah, they crumbled there. So it's like, you know, when it's getting a bit hot in the kitchen, there's a few players I don't think fancy it over there. But we'll see. They might prove me wrong. They might blow us out the water. We might drop a bollock and they win the league. And listen, if Arsenal win the league, there's nobody give them more credit than me. I've been a big fan of Arteta and Arsenal. I know people on this channel don't know because they haven't seen me what I said on the Big Six 2 years ago. But it is what it is. I've got to be confident in my team, Terra. I'm not one of these fans that tries to sugarcoat it and shits myself. I'm confident in my team for a reason. If you was in my position and you'd won 4 out of 5 titles, would you not be confident?
Yeah, listen, I get where your confidence comes from. Let's go to see what some of the viewers here are saying. This here from Bendover says, we have not slipped up so much this season, and now he thinks we'll drop points for City to pass us. I mean, it's what he thinks. Say why you're not. You're laughing at it, but at least challenge Steve with why he doesn't think that. This says we can drop 8 points and win the league, in my opinion. That is what an Arsenal fan thinks. He thinks that if they drop 8 points, they're still going to have enough to beat you.
We'll see.
Unfortunately, points on the board trumps game in hand is what the beautiful game says. Do you agree with that notion? That I personally believe that. Do you think you'd rather be 8 points clear than have to catch Arsenal?
Yeah, of course. You always want to be clear. You always want the points on the board. But listen, I'm telling them about this pressure. There's not an Arsenal fan in this chat now that's probably seen Arsenal win that league, unless there's a few older guys in there. You know, a lot of the Arsenal fans I speak to, the AFTV boys and that, the younger ones, they're not seeing it. And I tell them, trust me what's coming, man. You know, trust me what's coming. And there's a lot of shit being said about them. You know, apparently it's a one-horse race, one of them said the other day. And listen, I'm not calling all Arsenal fans. The other week when I said Arsenal fans said was built different, and they were all like, no one said that. They did say that. I'm talking about the AFTV boys, the ones that are on the platform. They said it. So all I'm saying is it's coming to that time of the season now where you've got to put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, you put your bollocks on the line. And at the end of the season, we see who wins it. And I'm just saying, I'm not one of these fans that, you know, won't give Arsenal any credit. I give them 100%
Yeah.
credit, because what they've done this season is fantastic. The team they've got, the energy, I love to see it. It's great, you know what I mean? But I'm backing my own team. They said, you beat us in the FA Cup because we made changes. Wait till you come to the Emirates. We'll see what happens at the Emirates. All right, then. And we've seen what happened at the Emirates. But apparently then I'm not allowed to celebrate that because I'm scared, and, Big Steve's frightened. He's talking about Sharks. There's only one fan base frightened, yeah? It's the one leading by 8 points. They're the ones who are doing all the talking. After this show, Terry, the comments will be full of Arsenal fans saying Big Steve's scared and he doesn't know what he's doing. But you won't see any City fans chatting in there because they're not asked. We're just ready for it. We're buckling down for the title. We're putting our tin hats on and we're having it. And if they ain't got the bottle, they'll bottle it.
This here says, I feel like Arteta has been preparing Arsenal for pressure. Last season's results was a hard lesson for everyone. Daniel disagreeing here, thinking that they are built for this. Guna Duke says, City have won 4 out of 5, have experience, great squad, great manager. We are told a lot and fair. Arsenal are the underdogs, manager's first job, youngest team in the Premier League. If you're second, will it be embarrassing?
How can it be embarrassing? So if we finish second, we've still won 4 out of 6 Premier Leagues. We're in the Champions League and the FA Cup. Don't talk shit. It's not embarrassing, is it? Because what's embarrassing is last season you was nailed on for the Champions League and you ended up in the Europa. That was embarrassing, but nobody said out about it. So it is what it is. Chelsea finishing fucking 10th, that's embarrassing. Liverpool going from the quad down to 9th, that's embarrassing. But Man City dropping from 1st to 2nd in a title race, in a transitional season, it is what it is.
Look, yeah, I don't think it'll be embarrassing because I think this Arsenal team is damn good, and I think I still predict they'll have enough to see themselves through. I did enjoy Julian's comments though, as you mentioned on AFTV, where he said, and he's very carefully worded it, that he said if you just look at the maths, it looks like a 1-horse race because they're 8 points clear. And I understand where he's coming from. The problem is, even though I'm predicting Arsenal to win the league, you can't write City off like that. You can't be talking 1-horse races at this point. Would you say that's a little bit premature?
It's just, I mean, you've got to take what Julian says with a pinch of salt, innit, really, because, he's up and down like a yo-yo. So it's his opinion. He's entitled to it. I respect him in somewhat because he's showing a little bit of chest and he's having it. I've got to respect that. But it's just mad over there because they're already getting their excuses ready in case they fail. Because if Arsenal lose the league, instead of turning around and saying, you know what, we didn't expect to be here, we took it as close as we can, but we lost. It'll always be, you spent £1 billion, you signed Haaland, we was never expected to win the league anyway. We've got the youngest squad in the world, we've got the biggest hot dogs in London, the brightest floodlights, we've got better seats than you, and we've got a fucking Ashburton army that stand under a bridge with a load of fucking disco lights every game. So, you're ready for that shit anyway. You know what I mean? Arsenal, for 20 years, never seen this Ashburton army. The season they're going for the title, there's a load of guys in balaclavas think the CSKA in Moscow now. So I don't know where they came from. But, so there's a lot of mad shit going on at Arsenal, innit? But you can't hide what went on before. We know you've been there. We've never seen these dudes before. They were a bit quiet when the third went in at the Emirates. The flags came down, the big flags, they just came down slow and then they all fucked off. But at the end of the day, I'm ready for it, man. It might rattle them. They might get upset. I don't care. You're a precious bunch. It's a bit, I know it's a bit, getting a bit pressure on you and that, but don't worry about it. You'll be able to go to school with your head held up high, even if you finish second.
Yeah, the Ashburton army, I swear I saw a picture of it. It is a bunch of like 16 to 19-year-olds. It's like, it's not grown men, it's like kids. I love that sort of stuff. I love it.
It's great, man. I love all that shit. But what I'm saying is, where was you when you was like, struggling a bit when the team needed the Ashburton army, when the stadium was half empty and you were trying to get Arsene Wenger out? Where was the energy? Or does that just turn up when they're going for the league? This is, keep it consistent, innit? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
It's like Liverpool fans. When they like sometimes they clap the coach in. Why are you not doing that to like Burnley at home in a November? Why is it only when you were like about to win titles? Oh, look how great our fans are. You weren't doing that when you weren't challenging for Premier Leagues. That would be great support. Not when, like, it's easy. Sometimes it's easier to support your team in the good times than it is the bad times. But I hear you there. Look, listen, I think Arsenal fans are getting their excuses in because there's also a lot of excuses being made in the other direction. Like all year, it's only pre-season. Yes, you've won 5 games, but who have you beat? When United beat them, you'll crumble. They didn't. Let's see how you cope with 2 games per week when the Europa League starts. They cope fine. Let's see how you react after the World Cup. Let's see what happens if a major player gets out. Jesus is then out.
Every single thing that's been thrown at Arsenal this season, they've overcome it. So they're in a great position. But what I'm trying to say is, let's just have it toe to toe to the end of the season. I think in football now, it's all about, instead of letting the football do the talking and we have a title race and we respect each other at the end and say, you know what, you beat us, you're a better side. It's all bullshit about little niggly things about you're this and you've said this and you've spent that and we can't do that because he's older than you and he's younger than you and Saka's better. It's all crap. At the end of the day, the end of May, when match of the day finishes and it shows you the picture of one of the captains lifting the trophy, if it's got red and white ribbons on it, then fair play to you. If it's got blue and white ribbons on it, then fair play to us. That's how I'm approaching it.
Mate, I agree. There is very little sort of like humbleness when it comes to defeat. There's nearly always an excuse, or you did it because of X, Y, or Z. If Arsenal don't win it, it's just because City have been a better team than them this season. It doesn't even matter if Arsenal have been the better team for 37 games. If by the end of 38 games, City are ahead of them, that's the way the cookie crumbles as far as I'm concerned. Eye test and stats and points totals all mean nothing if you're not the champions. You know, like Liverpool fans all those years ago wanting a trophy for second place because no second place team had ever had 97 points. I'm like, well, that's not how competition works. If me and you have a 100-meter sprint race, not that me and you could do this, and we both break the world record, but I come second, I don't get a gold medal as well just because I also broke the world record when I crossed the line. Like, it don't make sense. This here says he's thinking Arsenal will slip up, but City will have a perfect 11 remaining games. What logic is that?
Listen, we had to win 14 games to catch Liverpool. We had to win them. No draws. We had to win them. And we won all 14. So we've done it before. So there's the logic in that. We've got a game in hand. So if we win, it takes it to 5. We've got to play you at the Etihad. So if we beat you there, it's 2. So you only need to slip up once in that running and us go perfect. And we've won it. But that's what I'm saying. You win all your games, you win the league. We win all ours, I believe we win the league. That's why I said, let's just have it. None of the nonsense, tit-for-tat bullshit. I'm confident in my team, not arrogant. I'm confident. I'm a champion. My team's got gold badges on the arms of the shirts. So we're champions for a reason. So I'm ready for it. We've got the Champions League to fight for. Tough draw. We've got the FA Cup semi-final again. Hopefully a final. So life's okay on our side. We're happy with it. But, you know, let's just go with it.
Yeah, and hopefully a final against us. That'd be a nice final, wouldn't it? Manchester derby in the FA Cup final would be beautiful.
I think that's probably going to happen, to be honest.
I hope so. I mean, we definitely needed a break. I think the international break came at the right time for us because we were kind of flagging. And I think we just I know a lot of our players will be international duty, but sometimes a change is as good as a rest, and I just think we needed it. This super chat here says we need City to win the league so that we can cook the hell out of Arsenal fans, disregarding trophies outside the league, saying they are meaningless. But I think those individual fans have written off the other trophies as being Mickey Mouse, unimportant. If you don't go and win what you're aiming for, you will be laughed at. And I think that's why certain gooners, like Jess as an example, will hold her head up high because she was angry at going out of those competitions and said they were important. There are some that I've seen that are like, don't care about FA Cups, don't care about Europa Leagues, don't care about League Cups. They're meaningless. Those individuals will definitely be looked at.
Listen, for one, I wouldn't cook anyone. Me and Grizz went at it and for the Liverpool thing. And when we beat Liverpool, you won't find me winding Liverpool fans up. I got hundreds of DMs a day when we're in the title race with Liverpool. And then when we won it, we've won it. So there's no need for me to start mouthing off. I'm not that kind of guy. If Arsenal win it, I'll give them 100% credit because they deserve it. They fully deserve it. But if Manchester City win it, we fully deserve it. But there's a lot of twists and turns to go yet, Terry. You know, we don't know what's around the corner for both teams. We just don't know. You can take a mad sending off in a game. It could take an injury in a game. You just don't know. So, you know, I'm ready for it, man.